Hello all, my name is Sheikh Ahmed Basha and my caption project 4 is Netflix movies and TV shows clustering. And the contents of our project is the problem statement and data understanding and data cleaning and data manipulation. And after that, exploratory data analysis and text pre-processing and finding similar movies using cosine similarity and creating clusters using cluster algorithms. And final one is conclusions. And problem statement. The problem statement of our project is the data set consists of a TV shows and movies available on Netflix as of 2019. The dataset is collected from Fixable, which is a third-party Netflix search engine. In 2018, they released an interesting report which shows that the number of TV shows on Netflix has nearly tripled since 2010, and the streaming service numbers of movies has decreased by more than 2,000 titles since 2010. So while its number of TV shows has nearly tripled, it will be interesting to explore what all other insights can be obtained from the same dataset. And the main objective behind the project is to explore the dataset to find some key understandings and to cluster some similar content by using some machine learning clustering algorithms like K-means hierarchical clustering and data understanding. After loading the dataset, the dataset has 7,787 rows and 12 columns, and it contains information about the content, like it is a movie or a TV show, or who are the directors and cast, and what is the description of the movie, like this. And the features of the dataset are show ID, which is a unique ID for every movie, and a type means it is a movie or a TV show, and the title of the movie, and director, who is the director of the movie, and cast means the actors involved in the movie or a TV show, the country where the movie or show was produced, and date added means what is the date it was added on Netflix, and the release year means what is the year the show or a TV the movie has released, and a rating, TV rating of the movie or a TV show, and duration, total duration. For movies, it will be in minutes, and for TV shows, it will be in seasons. And listed in is the genre, and description is the summary description of the particular movie. And after loading the data and understanding the data, the next step is data cleaning and data manipulation. In the data cleaning, we will first check for null values and duplicated values. As in our data, there is no duplicated values. And if we check for null values, there are five features with null values. So they are a director and cast and country and date added and rating. And here you can observe that in the director field, in the director column, there are 30.6% of null values are there. So we cannot delete all, we cannot drop all those values because it leads to a loss of data. So we have to manipulate, we have to change the data without loss of information. So for director column, we can replace the null values with the name unknown. And for the cached column also, we can replace the null values with the name unknown. And for country column, we can replace the most repeated value mode. And for date added and the rating column, we can simply drop the rows with null values. And in data manipulation, we have created a new column called month added. We know the date added. So from the date added, we will extract the month number and creates a new column. And I also created a movie duration from the duration column, which contains the duration of the movie in minutes. And I also created a column number of seasons from duration column, which contains the number of seasons of a TV show. And I also created a new column target ages, which contains the age groups like adults, teens, and kids, and older teens. And the next step is exploratory data analysis. So we'll start to explore the data by taking each column. So when you see the first column is type. So here from these visualizations, we can observe that there are more movies. About 69.1% of the content from the Netflix are movies, and only 30.9% are TV shows. And the next one is a director. If you see John Suter and Raul Campos have directed the most number of movies. And next one is top directors who directed most number of TV shows. If you see Alasdair Fortgill and Ken Burns have directed the most number of TV shows. And the third column is cash. Here you can observe that Anupam Kher and Shah Rukh Khan are the actors who acted in most number of movies. And when it comes to TV shows, and Takehiro Sakurai and Junichi Suwabe are the actors who acted the most number of TV shows. And and in country column, we can observe that United States has produced most number of TV shows or movies. And second most country is the India. And month added. Here we can observe that the most number of movies or TV shows are released in the month of December. Okay, and if you compare for movies and TV shows, we can see that the blue bar is movies and the green bar is TV shows. Okay, when you compare only for movies, in the January month and the December month, most number of movies are released. And the release year, here we can, from these visualizations, we can observe that in 2018 most number of movies on TV shows are released. Okay, and if you see in recent years like 2021, 2019, 2018, the graph is increasing. Okay, and we can say that Netflix has started to increase the TV shows content. Okay, as you can see, the graph is increasing gradually. And a rating, if you see the rating, TVMA rating is more, like the most number of movies and TV shows belongs to the rating category of TVMA. And listed in means nothing but a genres. And you can observe that international movies, here international movies is a more is a here we can observe that the most number of movies and TV shows are from the genre of international movies, and the second most is dramas. And movie duration, if you observe the distribution plot, you can say that most number of the movies duration is in the range of 80 to 125 minutes. Likewise, number of seasons. And from this chart, you can observe that the most number of TV shows contains only one season. Yeah, and very less number of TV shows has more than 10 seasons. In target ages, here you can observe that adult content is more on Netflix, and followed by teens, followed by older kids, and last kids. And let's observe the relation between two features. Like if you see here, you can observe the relationship between the country and the target ages. From this correlation heat map, we can observe that the contents for adults is mostly made from Spain and France. From Spain, it is 84%, and from France, it is 68%. And likewise, the content for teens is mostly made from Egypt. 68% of the content from Egypt is for teens. Okay, and here you can observe that 57% of the content from the India is for teens. Likewise, you can also see for older kids, 27%. Okay, Japan made 27% of the content for older kids, and also the content for kids is mostly made from Canada country, 18%. Because if you observe the correlation between release year and the target ages, here you can observe that the content for adults is mostly released in the recent years. You see 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, there are more than 50% of the content. And the content for the teens is mostly released in the year of 2010 and 2012. And the content for older kids is released in year of 2014, and the content for kids is mostly released in the year of 2020, like 12%. And if you see the correlation heat map between the listed in like genre and the target ages. Here you can observe the content for the adults is from the genre of stand-up comedy, mostly 89%. Okay, and if you see the content for the teens is mostly from the genre of comedies and dramas and international movies, and the content for older kids is mostly from the genre of children, family movies, and comedies. And for the kids, we can easily say it's a kids' TV and children and family and movies. And if you observe the correlation heat map between the directors and the target ages, you can say that Raul Campos and John Suter, who directed the most number of movies, and those movies and those content or belongs to the adults. Okay, here you can see 94% of the content made only for adults. Okay, Raul Campos and John Suter, and Steven Spielberg and David Dhawan and Kathy Garcia Molina are the directors who makes content for the teens and older kids. Here you can see from the correlation heat map, 56% and 50%. Steve Spielberg has 50% of the content is for teens, and David Dhawan, 56% of the content of David Dhawan is for teens. And likewise, Steven Spielberg is 40% of the content is for older kids. Okay, and the next step is after completion of the exploratory data analysis, the next stage is text pre-processing because we contain the text contains a lot of words and lot of punctuations like commas and lot of repeating words. So we have to clean the text and we have to pre-process the text to be model ready data. So here here we are going to input the only text features to the model, and those text features are a title and a type, the director, the cast, country, rating, study, and description. So we have to clean these above features. Okay, and generally there are 5 steps in which we can prepare the text data as a model ready data. Those are tokenization and lowercasing. Here we will convert all the text into lowercase and removing stop words and removing punctuations and the stemming. And after text pre-processing, we can convert the words into the vectors using a TF-IDF vectorizer. Here, TF-IDF is a technique in natural language process for converting words in vectors and with some semantic information, and it gives a weighted to the uncommon words. And after converting the words into vectors, the next step is to reduce the dimensionality because if you convert the words into vectors, there are a lot of columns, so we have to reduce the dimensionality. So for that purpose, we can use a principal component analysis for dimensionality reduction. And after the dimensionality reduction, the data is ready to fit into the models. So here I experimented the clustering using cosine similarity, the k-means clustering, and hierarchical clustering. So, and cosine similarity is not a clustering; it returns the similar titles. So here you can see the cosine similarity is a measurement that quantifies the similarity between two or more vectors. So the cosine similarity is the cosine of the angle between vectors, and the vectors are typically non-zero and or within an inner product space. So by using cosine similarity, I created a function and which takes a title and number of top number of similar movies. If you see here, a similar movie 3 of Breaking Bad and 10. Here it gives the 10 movies which are similar to the Breaking Bad. I like things as Stranger Things. And after after cosine similarity, I started to fit the data into the clustering algorithms. And here you can see k-means clustering. K-means clustering is a centroid-based clustering algorithm, and where we can calculate the distance between each data point and centroid to assign it to a cluster. And the goal is to identify the k number of the groups into the data set. And the steps involved in the k-means clustering or choosing the number of clusters is important. By using elbow method and by using Silhouette analysis, so we can calculate the optimal number of clusters. And second step is initializing centroids and assigning data points to the nearest cluster, and reinitializing the centroids, and repeat the 3 and 4, and determining the optimal k value. Here you can see this is the elbow method. From the elbow method and the Silhouette analysis, we can choose the optimal k value as 6. And by fitting the data, by taking the n clusters is equal to 6, by taking k equal to 6, and fitting the data into the k means clustering algorithm, and plotting the clusters. This is the plotting the clusters after fitting the data into k means algorithm by taking k equal to 6. Here the Silhouette score is 0.50018 something. And hierarchical clustering. Hierarchical clustering is a popular method for grouping objects. It creates a group so that objects within a group are similar to each other and different from objects in other groups. And the clusters are visually represented in a hierarchical tree called dendrogram. From the dendrogram, in the hierarchical clustering, from the dendrogram, we can choose the k value. Here, from the dendrogram and Silhouette analysis, we can choose the optimal k value as 3. So, by fitting the data and taking k equal to 3 into the agglomerative clustering algorithm, it is one of the type of hierarchical clustering. There are three clusters. Here you can see the clustering. There are three clusters, and here the Silhouette analysis is 0.5049 and something. Conclusions. And there are more movies than TV shows on Netflix. And John Suter and Raul Campos directed most number of movies. And Alessia Gill and Ken Burns directed most number of TV shows. Anupam Kher acted in most number of movies, followed by the Shah Rukh Khan. And Takahiro Sakura acted in the most number of TV shows, followed by Junichi Suwari. And United States produced the most number of movies or TV shows, followed by the India. And most number of movies are released in the month of December and the January. And in the year 2018, most number of movies or TV shows are released. And in recent years, Netflix has started to increase TV show content. As you see that the graph is increasing gradually the before. And most number of movies and TV shows belongs to the rating category of TVMA, and most number of movies TV shows are from genre of international movies followed by dramas, and most number of movie duration is in the range of 80 to 125 minutes, and most number of TV shows have only one season, and most number of movies and TV shows are made for adults only, and the content for adults is mostly made from Spain and France countries, and the content for teens is mostly made from Egypt and Indian countries, and the content for older kids is mostly made from Japan country. The content for kids is mostly made from Canada country, and the content for adults is mostly released in the years of recent years like 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017. The content for teens is mostly released in the year of 2010 and 2012. The content for older kids is released in the 2014, and the content for kids is mostly released in the year of 2020. The contents for adults is mostly from the genre of stand-up comedy. And the next one is drama. And the content for teens is mostly from the genre of comedies, dramas, international movies. For older kids, the genre is children, family movies, and comedies. And the content for kids is mostly kids TV and children, family movies. And 94% content of the Raul Campos and John Suda is only for adults. And Steve Spielberg and David Dhawan and Kathy Garcia Molina are the directors who makes content mostly for teens and older kids. And by using the data, a recommended system was created using cosine similarity. And we also fit the data into k means and hierarchical clustering. For k means, the optimal k value is 6 and the Silhouette score is 0.5001. And for hierarchical clustering and from the endogram, we can choose the optimal k value as 3, and Silhouette score is 0.5049 something. And thank you.